the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Boston Celtics. Taking a look at the Celtics, one thing we know, they feel they match up well in this contest. It's obviously an opponent they're confident going up against. We won't have to wait long to see if that confidence is well-founded. And for the Celtics, how about their head coach, Brad Stevens? He's a youthful-looking guy. I know he's over 40, doesn't look it, but he's very, very poised.
Well, truthful. I think the one thing that he is he's a straight-up coach who has a no-nonsense approach. He's comfortable in his own skin, and I think he does look younger than 40.
And, he's a young guy, but he's not afraid to challenge his players, and he keeps an even keel. You won't see him breaking any clipboards. I like this guy.
You may not see him breaking any clipboards. That doesn't mean he doesn't do it behind closed doors.
Well, see, there's a difference.
I know.
We like it when you're behind closed doors breaking them. We just don't want it in public. Don't embarrass us.
Here's Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
The Boston fans already at a fever pitch inside the arena. We've got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Boston Celtics. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, I'm Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. And now, before we get to the tip-off, let's find out what Kenny Atkinson had to share with our David Aldridge. David.
Well, guys, when I asked him what impressed him the most about today's opponent, he immediately referred to the explosiveness on their offense. He said they have so many different ways to hurt you that it's impossible to take away everything. It's just about damage control. He acknowledged they've got a big job to do defensively. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And tonight, something we always like to see, two fierce conference rivals going at it. Doris, what's the difference in emotion in a rivalry game such as this?
Well, what you like about something like tonight's game is there's a little bit of distaste, right? When these two teams meet, something important's on the line, and you can feel the intensity. It'll be the Celtics off the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor for the Nets. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Damari Carroll. Then it's Allen Crabbe. Then it's Mozgov. And it's Russell in at the point. Kicks it to Crabbe. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Carroll. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction and the obvious result.
You simply can't give him that. You have to fight through the screen and at least get a hand in the face of the shooter.
Horford, no luck. Now Crabbe. And it's Russell at the elbow. Pass to Crabbe. Mozgov, a screen on Irving. 6 on the shot clock. Morris against Russell. There's Mozgov. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. On its way from Hayward for 2. Mozgov grabs the board.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Now, here is Russell. He dishes it to Mozgov. Over Irving. Misses off the left iron. Nets on defense. Hayward with the ball. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
How about the effort from Gordon Hayward? He takes pride, I think, in scoring over the defense.
Russell kicks to Mozgov. And stolen by Horford. And now with the fast break, Smart with the ball. Hayward can hit.
Boy, the defense collapsing and throwing him off balance on his way to the cup. I think, Kev, you look at the Celtics offense, not a lot of points in the paint or free throw attempts. They're very perimeter oriented.
Mozgov's shot is off.
Boy, they wanted to hit the ground running today, but it hasn't happened. Just 1 for 5 from the field.
Irving against Russell, and stolen by Russell. In transition, here come the Nets. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. He kicks to Carroll. Russell with it. Guarded now by Morris. There's Crabb with the 3. Not going to go that time. And it's Boston the other way. And Doris, if you're Brad Stevens in the Celtics, is that a focus, trying to get more going in the paint?
Well, I think they're going to play to their strengths, and right now that's probably shooting. But one thing they could look to be a little bit more aggressive with is their transition opportunities, because that could give them high percentage looks.
Al Russell following Al Horford's three-point attempt. There's a good screen. To the wing right side. There's Crabb with the 3. Great positioning on the putback.
But how about the persistence from Hollis Jefferson? He's keeping possessions alive with his activity.
In the corner, Horford with it. There's the 3. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist.
You know, I think the defense is thinking, I don't have to guard him on the line, but that's just a matter of whether he could knock it down, and he does.
Passes it to Crabb. The feed to Russell. Now the pass to Hollis Jefferson. Shot clock at 5. Shoots the 3. They grab their own miss. There's Mozgov. Good work defensively by Horford.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Here's Smart. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. Nets trail by 3. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
Well, Al Horford led all centers in assists last season. And let's also remember, assist-to-turnover ratio was almost 3-to-1.
So Boston going with almost an entire new group. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Horford. Tatum comes in for Gordon Hayward. Brown, he's checked in for Smart. And it's Rozier in for Irving. And a new group in for the Nets. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Harris comes in for DeMarre Carroll. LeVert's checked in for Crabb. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Russell. And the basket by Rozier.
Boy, what touch. You know, a lot of guys don't have the kind of feel necessary to make the floater.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Now here's Lin. He feeds it to Mozgov. Harris outside. Dishes it to Lin. Booker outside. Outside, Lin. To halt the run. Rebound, Boston.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Foul on the play, basket count, so it'll be a three-point play chance.
And when he's aggressive, watch out. Morris finishing through the contact, now going to the line to try and add one more.
And when Marcus Morris gets a defender in a one-on-one situation, Greg, he feels the most at home.
And part of that might be from going up against his twin brother all the time when they were young. Marcus Morris has a great knack to find a shot he likes. Terrific with his mid-range.
Free throw good from Morris. And the Nets throwing big money at restricted free agents in recent years, trying to add talent any way they can.
Well, and sometimes being willing to overpay if they have to. With no high draft picks walking through that door, they've got to exploit every opportunity to improve this roster.
Now here is Harris. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Lynn, no good off the front iron.
Just a little hesitation on that release, right? His timing looked a bit off.
Here's Rozier, defended by Lynn. Rozier, the pass to Baines. There's the pick. Brown outside. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Boston on top, leading by 8. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself and his teammates.
We expect so much out of each other every single night, and the team is going to go as hard as we go, as well as the other pieces that we have on the team. But we have to control it from a standpoint that we have to play off each other.
Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media, but also, perhaps the most demanding of all, are the expectations they've got for each other.
Oh, yeah. They're constantly trying to manage expectations while still demanding the best from one another. And I got to tell you, it's fun to watch.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And the Celtics guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
Well, the commitment is evident, and they are simply phenomenal at their aggression on the defensive end right now.
Morris is out there with Aaron Baines. Then it's Tatum. Then there's Brown. And it's Rozier in at the 1 spot. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. And it's LeVert missing. Boston leading by 8. Here's Rozier. Morris outside. Doris, many teams want to push the pace now. I know you like that. Some do it better than others. What's the key, and you've done this in college, to being successful with an up-tempo scheme?
Well, I think obviously, one, you've got to have 3-tool players who are unselfish by nature. 3-tool meaning once you catch the basketball, you are a triple threat. You can pass it, you can score it, you can dribble it. You're able to be a playmaker in every instance, because once you allow people to spread the floor, and by that I mean the spacing is, there are 5 guys spread out maybe beyond the 3-point line, so the defenders are essentially on an island until a screen comes. You've got to be a triple threat on the catch to be successful in those pace and space systems. You got to be able to shoot it too, Kev. That's the key.
Nets trail by 8. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Mozgov's got his first points in this one. So the Celtics call timeout, their first. And the Boston Celtics, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference last season. Doris, the first time in 9 seasons they held that spot.
And frankly, Kevin, they were way ahead of schedule. And with new stars like Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, they've become a championship contender.
Group in for the Celtics. Al Horford, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Hayward comes in for Marcus Morris. Marcus Smart's checked in for Brown. And it's Kyrie Irving in for Rozier. Russell against Irving. Pick by Horford. They set the pick. Out to the wing. Smart kicks to Tatum. Fires from the wing. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Tatum's got the lead up to 8 now for the Celtics. Feeds to Booker. Nets passing it around. Now the dish to Russell. Booker, right side. Over Horford. That's short off the rim.
Well, I wouldn't say the D was exceptional, but it certainly was enough to bother him.
Here's Hayward. Keeps it alive and staying with the play. Irving.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip-in. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Russell kicks to Crabbe. Screened by Russell. Back to Booker. Pass to Crabbe. He dishes it to Russell. And stolen by Irving. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Irving's got the ball. Shot clock reset for the Celtics. Horford's shot is good.
Well, Kev, how about that? Contest is right there. Just Al Horford better on the offensive end than the defense.
And Kyrie Irving a good playmaker. But he looks to score first, wouldn't you say, Doris?
Well, I think, Kevin, you can see with his tremendous skill level, playmaking is an area where he can be even more dynamic.
Now here's Irving. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Smart puts the pick in for Irving. Over Russell. The offensive rebound.
And a surprise he doesn't knock that down. Defense a little too lax that time.
Booker the pass to Kilpatrick. Russell with it. Now guarded by Tatum. 5 on the clock. And stolen by Irving. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Smart misses. Nets trail by 12. Here's Kilpatrick. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Kicks it to Crabbe. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. 6 on the shot clock. Shot to stop the drought. Tries again. And the layup is good. Hollis Jefferson's got his second basket of the night.
Well, the heart of Hollis Jefferson just incredible. This guy finishes despite the tremendous contact.
Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Well, you think about the virtuoso ball handlers in NBA history, Kyrie Irving has got to rank at the top of that list. You know, his ability to dissect defenders, get into the lane, that is the foundation of his offensive game.
Boston making a switch here. Baines is checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That free throw good from Kyrie Irving. And the fans get their money's worth watching Irving. My goodness, Doris, he puts on a show.
Oh, he certainly does. He's got every move in the book. A devastating crossover, a little in and out dribble, the hesitation, the spin, the ability to stop on a dime and hit the pull-up. You don't ever know as a defender which way to go.
Now here's Carroll. They set the pick. Dinwiddie. A three-pointer is right on target. Dinwiddie's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And a good opportunity here to go 2 for 1.
Let's see what they do here, Greg, right? Because you know they want to get a couple of possessions out of the time left.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Passes to Whitehead. Over Irving. Here's Dinwiddie. No good, trying to beat the buzzer.
Well, this is why you have to respect Al Horford, right? He has an ability to alter shots with that length.
And the first half is now in the books. Celtics lead by 10. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, you're in a good position here at the break. What do you tell your team to make sure they don't let up?
Well, I don't think it's about letting up or playing better. It's just playing the right way. We just have to play good basketball. And we talked about it before the game. That's our goal going into the game. That doesn't change no matter what the score is. So that'll be the discussion at halftime.
Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. Things were going Boston's way from the beginning. Amped up and ready off the tip, they immediately went on an 11-4 run. Looking at the scoring breakdown, they ended up going wire to wire in the first quarter, never once giving up their lead. In the second quarter, they faced a much tougher challenge, but they intensified their efforts and pulled further ahead, finishing 10 points up at the half. Taking a look at the Celtics, Shaq, what do you think?
Well, I like it, Ernie, because they're just not settling for outside shots. You know, that part of the game is pretty when it's going in. We've seen plenty of teams try that and fail. You got to have a balanced approach. And tonight, they found a ton of success inside. Basketball and championships are won inside out. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
Kenny, how'd you think the Nets were playing?
They need to make major adjustments on the offense. Whatever their game plan was going into this game, scrap it. It's not been effective. The shots they were taking were not good shots. They need to find a way to spring guys open where they can shoot a better percentage.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
And how disruptive was he in that first half? I mean, creating havoc, causing turnovers, and really energizing his team.
Well, didn't you get the sense, Greg, that this entire team fed off his energy? His remarkable effort on the defensive end really triggered this group.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Here is Russell looking for his first basket still in this one.
Well, the Nets have struggled at both ends, but defense is where they have got to take that next step. Better execution on the defensive end could enable them to bridge some of that talent gap, guys.
Setting the floor for the Nets. D'Angelo Russell out there with Alan Crabb. Then it's Mozgov. Then it's Damari Carey. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 4.
And that's how they're going to trim this lead. Play tough D, force some turnovers, and then push it in transition.
And that replay presented by Under Armour showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. And for the Nets, Doris, what do they need to do to turn the corner defensively?
Well, I think it starts in the paint, Kev. They actually do a pretty good job of contesting shots, but they've got to keep teams out of transition, out of the paint, and control their defensive backboard.
Brooklyn shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw good, Russell.
And a big move for D'Angelo Russell this past offseason. Traded from the Lakers to Brooklyn. Now one of the major building blocks of this team that has embraced him wholeheartedly.
Now here is Irving. He has 5. Over Russell. Drains the 19-footer. That's 7 points for Kyrie Irving.
Well, you know that Kyrie is going to be looking for a shot in that situation. It isn't hard for him to find one ever, it seems.
That's in, and the Celtic lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Hollis Jefferson. The Celtics shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor.
And with the draft spot the Lakers had and the spotted history with D'Angelo Russell, you know, Greg, it wasn't a huge shock to see him move.
You know, just seemed to me that Russell wasn't the right fit for what LA wanted to do. Still a very young and talented player who has a chance to kind of reinvent himself here in New York. He's shown a bit more maturity since that trade and since joining this team.
Here's Carroll following the basket by Marcus Morris.
Well, this is where Gordon Hayward has turned himself into a dependable two-way player. How good is he at using his length to turn away these shots?
Now here's Smart. Picked by Horford. Smart kicks to Morris. Horford sets a screen for Morris. Horford. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Yeah, Al Horford really cleaning the window right now. He's just pounding away on the opponent.
Russell kicks to Mozgov. And stolen by Hayward. Knocked away. It's stolen by Carroll. Russell against Irving. There's Hollis Jefferson. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
Some changes for Boston. Jaylen Brown's checked in for Smart. And it's Rozier in for Irving. LeVert's checked in for the Nets. Jeremy Lin comes in for Allen Crabbe. Picked by Horford. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
No, I didn't either. I thought his feet were moving. It was close, but he was still sliding in just a bit.
Tatum, he's checked in for the Celtics. And a change for the Nets. Harris is checked in. Out to the wing. Mozgov kicks to Lin. And that one, good. Doris, you ended a very successful college career a few years before professional women's basketball was fully established. How much do you wish you could have had a chance to go pro and play in what is now the WNBA?
How about this, Cap? The last 10 minutes of my senior season, the last 10 minutes of my final game, I blow out my knee. Otherwise, I would have gone to either Sweden or Ireland to play professionally. But sure, of course I wish the WNBA was formed. It came 10 years after my graduation in 1987. Oh, what could have been.
Yeah. And Doris is thriving, right? I mean, there is such a following for the WNBA.
Last year's finals may be the most competitive in history. It's really grown leaps and bounds.
So fun to watch. Here's Tatum following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Picked by Horford. Shoots off the screen. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range. And now they're turning this game into a drag race, sprinting out for easy fast break baskets.
Here's Rozier. He kicks it to Morris. Picked by Horford. Carroll against Morris. Now the feed to Tatum. 5 to shoot. Shoots over Lin. Again, the miss by the Celtics. And the Nets with possession. They're on a 16-6 run. The pass to LeVert. He feeds it to Mozgov. Here's LeVert. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Mozgov's shot is off.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Morris with the bucket.
And I like the different looks that Morris can give you, inside, outside, and in transition.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated. And his guys are getting frustrated. Coach just really kind of needs to calm them down.
I think, Greg, they've got to continue to believe that the next shot is going to go in. He can hopefully communicate that effectively to them.
Baines, he's checked in for the Celtics. Then for the Nets, Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Mozgov. And it's Whitehead in for Harris. 1:12 left in the third. Pass to LeVert. Dishes it to Lynn. 6 to shoot. Lynn, a screen on Morris. Outside Carroll. And the Nets miss again.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
Well, you know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
Here's Baines. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Picked by Horford. Here's Brown, and he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. And it's a 4-point Celtic lead.
Well, don't you love the way Jaylen Brown is squaring up in the mid-range? This guy's getting his feet under him, his pre-shot preparation outstanding.
So it's Brooklyn now. Carroll with the 3. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Rozier. Here's Baines. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
Boy, the defense gets into his head and alters his release when he really doesn't have to.
The third quarter comes to a close. Boston on top, leading by 4. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Okay, hey, bottom line is, good things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen. How you respond is the biggest key. Let's go.
And Brad Stevens moments ago focusing on what they can do now rather than worrying about what's already happened.
Yeah, and this is all you can do. Put all of your energy into this moment. The past, the future, they don't matter.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Hayward outside at the 3 with Morris to his side at the 4. Smart is out there with Irving, and it's Baines in at the center position. That's the Boston 5. So it's Brooklyn now after Marcus Smart missing on that last 3-pointer. Here's Whitehead, guarded by Smart. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Smart.
And you look at this Celtics roster, a bevy of long, athletic wing players. They seem to be taking a cue from teams like the Warriors, who have found success with defensive switching and positionless basketball.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
And the Celtics, as you see, are stockpiling wing forwards. Brown, Tatum, Hayward, and we're seeing those guys lining up at the 2, 3, and 4. It gives Brad Stevens tremendous roster versatility.
And the second free throw, good. Celtics leading by 3. And here is Irving. No good off the front iron. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting just 34% from the floor. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Feeds to Dinwiddie. Passes it to Whitehead. Crabbe kicks to Booker. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And one of those lunch pail players. You love him, Greg. Trevor Booker out of Clemson.
Just hard-nosed, gets on the glass, and although only 6'8", he gets off his feet quickly. A terrific leaper and just one of those ultra-competitive guys.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, there's no doubting over the last season or so, Trevor Booker has shown he can be a starting caliber power forward in this league. This guy's tough inside. He can make threes. Look out.
Al Horford is checked in for Aaron Baines. And a change for the Nets. Russell, he's checked in for Whitehead. Both free throws good from Booker. And the knock on Trevor Booker, Doris, is that at 6'8", he's considered undersized at that power forward position.
Well, Kev, thanks to the success of someone like Draymond Green, I think teams these days are more focused on skill at the 4 than size. And now that Booker has expanded his range, he's certainly a guy who increasingly fits in the way the game is played.
Here's Booker after Gordon Hayward's bucket. Dinwiddie kicks to Russell. Russell a screen on Hayward. Clock at 6. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, a good ball handler and passer. Doris, do you play him some at the point forward, or is that asking too much?
Well, I think at this point he's probably better suited as a secondary ball handler. Putting the ball in his hands does take some pressure off of his shooting, though. And if his jump shot doesn't come around, it might be something to revisit.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one. And Rondé Hollis-Jefferson able to defend 1 through 4. Doris, where do you think he's most effective as a defender?
Well, Kevin, with his length and his quickness, he can really bother guards that are smaller than he is, which most often is going to be the case.
Mozgov, he's checked in for Booker. And he's good on the second.
Only down 2 now, but that miss might come back to haunt you. If they don't get a stop, it's back to a 2-possession game.
Irving dishes to Hayward. Morris, left side. Picked by Horford. Morris with the bucket. And the Celtics lead by 4.
Well, Al Horford is an exceptional screener. He uses his size to give his teammates space.
Here's Dinwiddie, guarded by Smart. Screened by Russell. Dinwiddie passes to Mozgov. Crabbe kicks to Russell. There's the triple. And he's good on the 3-ball.
And smooth release from range. Russell can just do so many things for you.
Picked by Horford. Hayward outside. Horford sets a screen for Hayward, and the layup is good.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him.
The pass to Hollis-Jefferson. There's the dish to Dinwiddie. Kicks it to Russell. Screened by Russell. Back to Mozgov. Now here's Crabbe. Defended by Hayward. Crabbe, no good. Celtics leading by 3. And stolen by Russell. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. Russell's running. He dishes it to Dinwiddie. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter.
How about the quick decision-making? Hollis-Jefferson, knowing he has the full trust of his teammates to take and make these big-time shots.
Now, here is Irving. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Shooting for Boston, Kyrie Irving. He'll be at the line shooting 2.
First one falls for him.
Such a luxury to have Kyrie shoot it like this from the free throw line because the ball is in his hands so often.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Carroll's checked in. Both free throws good from Kyrie Irving.
I mean, he's as close to automatic when he's up at that line, especially when the ball game's a close one.
Now, here is Russell. Now, Carroll. Mozgov, a screen on Irving. 4 on the clock. That's it, and the Celtic lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Russell. Russell's got 5 points in the quarter. Russell against Irving. Morris a screen. Hayward outside. Morris into the lane. Here's Horford. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. And the Celtics lead by 3. Nets have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Picked by Mozgov. Russell against Irving. Now, here is Russell. Defense is right there. Shot clock at 3. Trav. Again, the Nets for 2. What a difference in this crowd right now.
That's how you silence a building.
Outside Irving. Over Russell. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. And that's 11 points for Kyrie Irving.
And you got to admire Irving in these situations. Doesn't let pressure overwhelm him. In fact, he embraces it.
Now, here is Russell. Carroll dishes to Mozgov. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Crab with the ball. Guarded now by Morris. Crab, no good. This is a huge possession.
And this is where all the hard work pays off. You have to be able to execute under pressure.
It's good!
Huge bucket from Kyrie. Knows how to deliver.
Timeout called the Nets. They trail by 5. 40 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Al Horford.
Well, he's got his field goal percentage in the high 50s, and that says a lot about how well he's been able to kind of exploit the gaps in the defense. His motion, his ability to find open spots on the floor, you can definitely see the difference.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard Kenny Atkinson talking with his team. He told them, look, guys, we're running out of time. If we're going to make a move, it's got to be now. Are you guys ready to make a move? They all nodded, and he said, then go take it. Kevin?
All right, thank you, David. Now here's Smart. He's guarded by Cram. Smart with the ball. And Horford, here we go. And finished off by Horford. That gives him a double-double in this one. 11 points and 12 rebounds.
Well, Al Horford using his mobility around the basket. He steps through the defense. No one gets in his way.
Timeout called the Nets. They're trailing by 7. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Mozgov kicks to Dinwiddie. Pass to Whitehead. They set the pick. Here's Kilpatrick. Offline with his three. Here's Rozier. So it's the Celtics picking up the win. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group has in one another when it matters most. Doing what had to be done and to send these fans home happy.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Gordon, nice win for you guys tonight. What was the difference?
Energy. I think we play with a lot of energy, passion, especially defensively. You know, when we're all doing our job and we're playing and we're focused and we're solid defensively, we're not really having lapses, we can be a pretty good team. You know, that we don't have to walk the ball up the court, and it's not as difficult on our offense. So it all starts defensively, and I think it all starts with energy down there.
You've become one of the best young defensive teams in the league, Gordon. Thanks very much. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.